My name is Drake Moscow. This is a Ford Mustang Mach E, and right now I'm gonna go for a quick drive. Driving the Ford Mustang Mach E. This is the third electric vehicle I've really spent any amount of time in. The other two being a Tesla Model 3 and a Mini SE. So initial impressions, this is a crossover. You sit high off the ground like you do in a crossover, but inside this feels more like a cockpit, more like a sedan would have. You know, the front window isn't actually all that tall. You kind of feel cocooned in this vehicle in a very sporty way. I really like that. And I'm just gonna come to a stop here. And we are in, hold on. There are 3 drive modes. We are in whisper mode, which the owner of this car told me is her favorite. But I am just going to see what this can do. Yeah, it's pretty fast. That was in whisper, right? So like I said, the slow mode, and it's definitely got the initial kick, and then it feels like around 20-30 miles an hour it has another like whoosh of power. So now I'm gonna go into unbridled, which the husband of this car's owner, who has a Mustang Mach E GT on order, said is his favorite drive mode. And the gauge cluster just changed a little, and I can feel the steering is definitely heavier, and we're gonna come to a stop. Oh, and there's way more regenerative braking. There was like almost no regenerative braking on whisper mode, but I can come to a stop. Yes, no, maybe so, no. Okay, there is a car coming, but I'm gonna floor it. Okay, it didn't feel all that different in unbridled mode from whisper mode in terms of acceleration, but it definitely feels a little more sporty. Oh, I can turn on one pedal driving. Okay, so if I go into whisper, I see. So one pedal driving is a separate setting that you can turn on. So now I'm in whisper, and yes, it'll come to a complete stop. On their own, Engage and Whisper do not have any regenerative braking, but Unbridled does. But then you can also turn on one pedal driving, and then that obviously gives you some regenerative braking. This interior is very nice. You know, I think electric cars currently, because Tesla is so dominant, they kind of lack in the interior department. And this Ford Mustang Mach E has a very nice interior indeed. The quality of the materials really surprised me. You know, Ford I don't think has the best reputation, at least from my experience, of great interior quality, but this feels like a very upscale interior, definitely fitting of the price of this vehicle. You just drove by a Tahoe, and you're definitely sitting lower, but this is a smaller crossover than, say, a Tahoe. But yeah, it feels like even though it is a crossover, it does have that athletic stance. Now this main screen is very big. I don't know exactly how big it is, but I'll put that number on the screen. It seems great. It's a little slow, a little laggy from what I have experienced it. Now I have only been in this car for 20-30 minutes, but it's not snappy as maybe you would want. Yes, the steering is very direct as I navigate this suburban causeway. And then in front of you, you have a digital instrument cluster, and it's relatively small, but it has all the necessary information. It has your speed, obviously, and your range with your battery percentage, and what gear you're in, and that's basically it. And that's really all you need in an instrument cluster. And right now the battery is reading 73% charge with 209 miles of range. You know, so 3/4 of a battery for 200 miles of range. That is pretty decent. Definitely more than you will need in a normal day. I really like this Mustang Mach E, and you know, the person who owns this car, she told me that she's never really liked a car, like been into a car before, but she loves this Mustang Mach E. And you know, I think it's because it's so unique, not just for a Ford. This person who owns a car, they are a from a Ford family. They have all Fords, but it's not just unique from a Ford standpoint. It's unique from a vehicle standpoint. You know, I think this is going to become the norm, but right now, fully electric vehicles and fully electric dedicated crossovers and stuff like that, this is new. This is the hot thing right now, and it is still really cool, and I think a lot of people can appreciate that. And I will note that this has a huge nose. They really tried to make this on the outside look like a Mustang and get those proportions right, and I actually think they did a pretty good job with the proportions. It's got a long nose, and then they just kind of had to elongate this passenger section to fit a second row, obviously. But when you're driving it, you feel like you're in towards the rear of the car, even though you're in about the middle of the car, because just how long and sloping that hood is. But I think it makes this car feel substantial, even though this is really just a compact crossover. Okay, so we're going 15. 50. Yeah, it's fast. So that was just a quick drive with the Ford Mustang Mach E. I didn't have all that much time with it. I just wanted to make a quick video. It's a really cool car. I'm starting to see them around a little bit, and people definitely look at you. I think this silver is actually a very beautiful color for this car. For the GT, I think the bright blue is really cool, but I'm not a huge fan of that red that a lot of these cars, these Mach E's are coming in. But yeah, this silver I think is a good color. I'm glad this person got that color. Yeah, this is a very exciting vehicle. And I've really enjoyed the time, this little bit of driving that I have been able to do with this Mach E. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.